team, unbeaten in all competitions. That's the Leeds came from behind to make 21 at Wales, even Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored. Wales bottom and corners. Burnley and Forest finished 1 apiece. Brighton and Hitchhike went 2 up. Spurs came back with a 2-2 draw. John Paul Van Hecker's own goal, giving Spurs a point. Brighton turning to Liverpool. Middlesbrough 4 points clear at the top of the Championship. Stoke stayed second despite the beat of QPR. Preston had a wicked victory at Derby. Sheffield United stayed bottom. They lost 3 to Ainsworth side still unbeaten this season, and Robbie Savage didn't need any of these substitutions to get a win until Forest win back top of the National League. They overtake Rochdale, whose 5:30 game has been postponed against Southend. It's all over in the Women's Rugby World Cup semi-final. What up, Davy Reynolds?
The full-time score, France 17, England 35, and if the theory is that the best sides win when they're not playing at their best, England certainly put that to the test today. Now, into the World Cup final, Switzerland against Canada next weekend away to France, which will rule what could have been, because they were the better side for much of this semi-final. But this ruthless Red Roses winning machine goes on. 5 tries scored, Kilduff, Bright, Will Cocaine and Jones to one side over. That's 32 wins in a row for England. All eyes on whether they make it 33 next week. Into the World Cup final, the full-time score, France 17, England 35.
Congratulations, Sean. That's how they can do it in the front of the full-time final. It's coming 037172233. Of course, Jamaica and with this man, Jamie O'Hara. I think you're going to get a lot of this time back to play the game.
Enjoy it out in cash or transfer the shop. If you want half cash and or transfer the rest, you can let me. I see this week to sort
for me, it's just bad timing. It's unlucky for us how we proceed today, when we proceed today. But like I said, we actually accepted it today. But the team comes back from sooner, and obviously momentum is with them. But actually, once they equalised, if anyone looked like they were going to get the winner, you must have been pleased how your team reacted in that moment.
Exactly, that's what I said to my team. Like, we were pushing for the third goal, we had chances, we were there, we were close. We were fighting, we never gave up, we looked fit, we looked sharp in the last minutes, and that's what I said to the boys. So, like I said, a lot of positive to take away, besides results.
And they're taking down the people mentality as well. Is it fair to say these were one of your better prepared players so far this season? You pleased with that? Very interesting. Spurs getting a little bit lucky with scrappy goals. William wasn't good. I suspect it comes from the natural respect of something's come back from the around. Maybe they should have looked at taking more crowds off. But it just tough to do. There's no real active grasp there. And I think when it's in that situation, then unfortunately, normally they to be fair, he didn't have a bad game today, but I think his critics, but at least he was trying second half, he said they were doing a second win, but he's right, he's not. He's championship probably at best, so.
I proved you in, and you pretty much agreed with me.
You but pro. Big up, big up. Bosalimi. Belcher.
Let's go to Richard. He's a Nottingham Forest fan, Rich.
14 minutes into the drive. I've at least 45 minutes left to go.
Starting route turn 4 to LN. At the roundabout, take the fourth exit.
3 steps forward, 2 steps backwards. Bring an engine. I just can't understand the equipment balls. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, it was a weird one. Getting rid of Nuno, even if you're not seeing eye to eye, sometimes you just got to bite your lip and do what's best for the club, regardless of what kind of style you want to play. So get rid of him. Everyone's scratching the head, and surely you're going to think the press are not doing that. And I think Ronaldo's is looking at this and
Listen, Marinakis hasn't got anything wrong, right? Fair play to him. Yeah, he normally.
25. Northbound.
It's unbelievable, in my opinion. A stable football club with an identity who've done unbelievable last season. Get yourself back in Europe when you were one of the favourites to go down. And then you
Come on, traffic.
Honestly, I cannot believe. And then bring him out like straight away.
It's about to rain.
Arsenal free kick. I understand that one.
Here we go, here we go.
Typical and performance I've ever seen. 2-0 up, you lose 3-2. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's such a bad performance. And then today,
M25, M11, A46, A12. M11. Nice countryside over there, sir. Great. England are nice. Yes. Yeah, look at the countryside over there, man. England are nice. Look at the sunset. Ready. Oh, traffic. Oh no. It wouldn't be London if there ain't no traffic, man. I tell you.
Like a salmon jumping out of water. I was on the other side of the away and just leaped out. It was Ronaldo when he scored that header. It was just you know, listen, I'm a Leeds United fan. I'm allowed to go straight away.
Easy.
I think with Leeds United, especially with the wing play,
Go to the sports live. They're just commentating now.
And Manchester United have to surely seize this as an opportunity to run up the score here and get a comfortable win. But football is rarely that straightforward, as we well know. Tosin does win on the shoulder charge against Šeško. Rolls the ball back to Jorgensen, Philip Jorgensen, who did play most of Chelsea's Conference League games last season. He's on the back. Kukurea has gone down with a head injury, and that's why the referee has to hold on play. Manchester United supporters open there because they thought the referee giving a free kick to Cucurella. I don't think he has done it, but he's just stopped the play because it is a head injury for the Spaniard.
So Manu.
History of being American fan. But the way he went down there, he seemed to slightly catapult his own face into the ground. And what acted there, he really thumped himself the way down. Oh, that's you know, that was very ugly. But even in slow motion, that was quite vile to look at. He's got himself up. The lad, take a real, as you say in Scotland, dull one. Right, so by the way, no, it's a challenge. He just got himself in a bad position. He fell face first.
Right, Cucurella getting treatment, making sure he's okay. Earlier on today in the championship, wins for Birmingham, Eastmark Rangers, won against second place.
Championship winner.
Wins for Blackburn, Preston, Hull, Wrexham, Sheffield Wednesday down towards the bottom of the table, and Charlton as well. Full details on BBC Sport website. In the Premier League, another goal for Hugo Ekitike, giving Arsenal an interesting selection dilemma. Isak did come on for Ekitike as a substitute in that game, but after Ekitike had already got on the score sheet, 2 goals in the first half hour for Liverpool at Anfield as they beat Everton by 2-1 here at Old Trafford. Back underway. Old Trafford gets the ball back to the goalkeeper Jorgensen. It is
who they home to? Who them up here today?
It's a really infuriating. It is.
Manu, them. So Manu is the biggest graveyard in the Premier League.
It's a head injury. It's not his own fault in any way whatsoever. Still not well back on there. 30 seconds, you have to wait.
Sorry for the Manu fan, them boy.
It feels grotesque to unfair, but it's just the rules.
And there's a reason for the rule as well. Is, as we well know, players were using the fact that a head injury stops the game tactically sometimes to, and that is a fact, that did happen. I'm not going to name names, but that happened. And what the policy is right, if you do have a head injury, of course there's something to look after you, but the restriction on you doing it too often, it needs to be a genuine head injury. You need to be willing to sit on 30 seconds to get that treatment.
Absolutely. Hey, I'd be stronger than that. If I'd find out if you trained a head injury, you should look immediately.
It's so hard to prove, that's the trouble.
I'd rather look at after again. Because the one thing that's the most defensive, one of the most defensive things again, to tell me that a head injury, when I ask that you have great fears of head injury and your head to make your hospitals in later life, that's one of the most defensive things I've heard today.
Agreed. Here's Reece James coming up the halfway line for 10-man Chelsea here, trailing by a goal to nil at Old Trafford. This is 5 live at BBC Sounds in the Premier League. Chalaba comes up the halfway line now on the left-hand side. Andre Santos ahead of him, gives it to Cucurella on the left-hand side, a ball into Casemiro. Chelsea trying to string a few passes together here. It's been a really difficult start to the game for them. That was an ambitious crossfield ball by Casemiro.
Enjoying the sunset. Over there, nice sunset.
Quick recovery from Fofana. No slouch there. Wesley Fofana matched Ahmad's striker's drive and made the slide back.
He did brilliantly there. And you really had to open his eyes completely, and he managed to do it. I think Man United have been looking for a moment to test out that pace. You needed it in that moment.
Nice.
We know Ahmad, naturally, he's a right-sided player, but he's been deployed on the left side of the two behind Sesko with Mbeumo on the right-hand side, and Ahmad's face up against Fofana for the interesting look at that. Challenge by Cucurella off the ball of Masraoui there. So down past him, he's fouled a free kick to Manchester United. Takes there from Cucurella, but
Cucurella's not complaining for a millisecond, so I suspect it's a fair call. He usually can't have really worse. But you're coming up Man United 3 or 4 minutes there, they kind of not kept the pace up.
Come on.
10-9, so you're up against it, but you haven't made so many changes. Keep on asking them questions. Make sure you can put this game beyond them. Chelsea can settle into a very comfortable, a more comfortable situation. We need to get back into this game.
Free kick is touched by Bruno Fernandes, so Bruno able to bring it forward. Looks at him, but too close to the goalkeeper. Just too close around Old Trafford as Jorgensen gathers comfortably there. Bruno Fernandes, I think Luke Shaw
pushed him,
God.
he tried to break forward there.
Here we go.
You've got a deal here to the referee saying that Stoke should be punished for that.
Rumours went that he pushed maybe, if he took the shot, should be out. So maybe that's what Enzo was suggesting.
So it's your replay, but it seems to be a similar thing to what Kukurea did. Oh, he's wrapped his arm around it, but he doesn't hold it. He wraps the arm and lets go immediately, and that's always a mitigating circumstance these days. We're going to the Rangers. Let's do it now. Manchester United leading 10-man Chelsea here. Rangers against Hibs in the Scottish League Cup quarter-final. Here's Kenny Crawford.
40 minutes gone, still Rangers nil, Hibs nil, but the game was paused for a couple of minutes there. As many people know, this is against the backdrop, this match of unhappiness at Russell Martin, the fans protesting outside Ibrox before the game, and in the 12th minute they threw on behind that Copeland Road stand onto the pitch a lot of items like small torn balls that had to be cleared off the pitch again, and the sign said delaying the inevitable, Martin must go. So lots of unhappiness. Russell Martin needs a result tonight. Rangers nil, Hibs nil.
Thanks very much, Kenny. Manchester United trying to attack down the left-hand side. Fofana shields it, protects it away from Ahmad, and the ball runs out of play. So for listeners joining us, Chelsea forced to make 3 substitutes inside 21 minutes today after the red card to the goalkeeper, an injury to Cole Palmer, Enzo Maresca really having to completely throw his game plan out the window. More than 3 decades of the Premier League, that no team has ever made 3 substitutes inside 21 minutes before.
Every situation. And they made a they had to change the team about, they had to move it, and if one of the substitutions obviously Vincent's an injury as well on top of that, so all against him.
Here's to legs, urged to shoot by the crowd, but he tried to cross instead, and Fofana clears away, not very far mind you, and Masraoui has him on the right hand side for Manchester United up against Kukurea, level on the edge of the penalty area, back into left, sends it across, which Tushin wins in the air. Then Luke Shaw down the deck for Dogu on the left hand side. Reece James getting up really close to Dogu, snapping away at his ankles and forcing the ball out for a throw into Manchester United, which they did quickly. Ruben Amorim's team, very grateful to have scored that goal after VAR review from Bruno Fernandes, because they've not exactly been peppering Chelsea's goal with shots since then. Is it Bruno, sends it across again, Tushin wins it in the air again, and then wonderful ball, juggling skills by João Pedro to flick it over the top of the line to try and run it the other side, and then he says he was fouled, João Pedro, and the referee says no. And the booze, because they think João Pedro was acting there. Play on, this is Dogu, down the left hand, tries to cross, blocked by Reece James, throw into Manchester United, his man there.
Taking the referee's in a brilliant position, you see that there. He absolutely feels that João Pedro not made the most of the dive. I think he's died. Why not get killed it? They had some. João Pedro's from him. I suspect he will throw himself to the ground again.
Absolutely, this is interesting. Since the 4th minute of the game, Chelsea have 10 minutes.
4:06, here we come.
11 against 10. It's 15 as a support. That's what I'm saying here. When you're ahead, you need to go and press your advantage. And I'm surprised. We can't have done it in Manchester United. Since they scored the goal, we think, what do you do when you've got an extra man? You wait in the pitch, you get your wingers. Oh, I am going. That's the classic, isn't it? You need to be adaptable to say, right, okay, wait the pitch. So what they've done to wait the pitch was brought Flemo and not further right. Let's take them out the centre right.
It's gonna be more traffic on my days.
Nice ball. Who's with him? Takes his patience from Ahmad, but he's got another play surely. Crosses it for Casemiro to score, but that won't get us. Ahmad brought the ball out of play before bringing it back in.
Again, hits head of Ahmad. Beautiful run. Brilliant technique. With a just zip it across the goal between sent back to the goalkeeper. There's plenty of players in there because that was anyone who played that defender. He's waited. When you read that message, gives him the defence a chance to get a good position. They did so.
Okay, that's it.
Coming up after the live football here at Old Trafford, Ronan Kemp and Chris up in the chair. 085590963, the number later on to get in touch. You can text as well, much to discuss up and down the football landscape on 606. Match of the day with Kelly Gates tonight. He's on BBC One at 10:30. Manchester United putting pressure on Chalobah, who deals with it very calm and collected. Rolls it all back to Jorgensen, the goalkeeper.
His right-footed clearance is up over the half-line. Dover will jump in the air with Reece James. And Chelsea get
I run about that myself. I already did this morning. Stop this morning.
Plenty red shirt back from Manchester United. Joe Pedro's done well to weave into a bit of space.
So this is like when I come from up late in Walthamstow.
Referee was very close to Chelsea screaming for a penalty kick, but the referee says play on, and Mazraoui does play on, feeds it into Šeško, controls with his chest, just outside the tee, Benjamin Šeško to Ahmad.
But I kept, for continuous, I kept on the A13.
Someone needs to take a shot here, and they won't because the flag is raised for offside.
It's not about the same come back down.
Opportunity goes to
Back again on the
Held it really, really well.
A13.
But held on to it too
Let's have a
long.
long.
Just to play the ball in there. And eventually it plays it
Tomorrow
through
they're
the
A12 again.
run into an offside
Do some
position.
more for the
Referee kept, well, the assistant referee kept his flag down for a while, but to be honest, that was always offside there. Just moves the ball a little bit more quickly. If they do that, they put Chelsea under pressure. But the moment Chelsea begins getting into a bit, just having a little look at this João Pedro one again. You know what? He didn't die, there was a touch on it. The tackle comes in.
45 minutes.
It's
So
Mazraoui.
far.
If you throw a lazy leg in like that, when it, classically, we've all said this before, had he given it, we'd have been overturned.
The goal here in the 14th minute from Bruno Fernandes. And Hughes reaching of us. A goal and eye box in the Scottish League Cup quarter-final. Kenny Crawford.
19 minutes gone. Rangers now have Ernie in one, and it's Martin Boyle, the Scottish-born Australia international. Long ball from deep, and he outpaced Eric Cornelius. He's slotted into the bottom left-hand corner. Jack Butland got a touch, but it's trundled into the back of the net. Rangers now have Ernie in one.
It's very 1-0 to Manchester United here at Old Trafford. Chelsea giving it away in the edge of the box. With Gurnu full ball. Doesn't find Šeško. And Fofana slides across, but he can't prevent it going out for a corner. Corner to Manchester United on the right-hand side. They lead 1-0 against 10-man Chelsea.
We have to say that Ruben Palmer phoned up Russell Moore beforehand and said, sorry for the pressure you're under, mate. This is some serious pressure.
Just a little similarity there.
You know,
clearance.
yeah. Well, you're not getting the crowd coming on the manager after 12 minutes here at Old Trafford. Tough times, Russell Martin.
1-0 to Manchester United. Could this be a spark for their season today? I remember being at Craven Cottage last month. Manchester United went in front, but they couldn't hold on to the lead. Difference today is they're playing 10 and they're at home. And this is Mazraoui after a short corner was taken. Gorka arriving on, mark to the back post. Tried to head it back across the base of goal. Reece James up in the air. Mazraoui arriving. Casemiro! It's in! It's Manchester United!
Manchester United score.
10 minutes to half-time. That turns the screw a little bit now. Casemiro, who scored once in the Premier League last season, scores against Chelsea for the third time in his league career in England. That is more Premier League goals against Chelsea than any other opponent. It's a short-range header from Casemiro. It's Manchester United 2, 10-man Chelsea 0.
Casemiro scores a lot of goals in his head. He's very, very good at arriving. When he's there, he places it. He doesn't vaguely go towards the goals. He knows where he wants to put. It was a great chance beforehand, by the way. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on. I think Shaw and Enzo came together earlier on, just after the goal was scored. But that's just a bit of infuriation. Surprised that Doherty didn't go for the header, but he had a chance at back post. It was all over the place. We're going to have a look, see if there's anything wrong with that. Is there offside? I can't see much.
No, I don't think it's offside. I think the question might be just Luke Shaw handling. When Luke Shaw heads it, it's one of those, it's more his shoulder than his head that flicks it on. And I think part of the complaint there was he might have handled it anyway. Here are looking at everything in the background as they always do, but it would appear that this game is going to start. This one is now asking for the two captains to come over. Referee Peter Baxton, he's having a word, and there's just been a few little tinderbox moments where it's all threatened to bubble over here. Enzo and Shaw have been at the heart of most of it. The goal stands. Casemiro is making this, it's almost an unusual feeling for Ruben Amorim. Comfortable position now for Manchester United.
Fabulous position they're in. We can go and really, really enjoy this now. We've not started the game yet. The referee's talking to them at the moment, but I think it's going to start.
Just defending for Chelsea, the space that Dover was afforded when he arrived at the back post, nobody had picked up that one. And spikes, several blue shirts in the 6-yard box. Then they were in trouble and Casemiro pounced to get the goal. Back to Ibrox, back to Kenny Crow for the far
22 minutes gone, and a similar situation for you guys, but a Rangers reprieve because that Martin Boyle goal for Hibs has been ruled out by VAR because of a handball when he controlled Dylan Levitt's long ball, and it's back to Rangers 0, Hibs 0. And Russell Martin get their reprieve it. Ruben Amram seems to have
O'Connor's made a big mistake here, and that takes it off him. Jorgensen's on in the goal. Shalaba makes it a point to Taylor, and Chelsea breathe again.
That's how I make a blood clot stay out there.
Goalkeeper come out for it, and was able to win possession. Manchester United could have been in for their third. Big roll there was Harry Maguire. It's a solid tackle.
Bumbo clot in the king.
He pushed to Pedro, and I think Manchester United are relishing this dominance they're holding in the game. They really Chelsea know all about it.
Look at that.
Harry Maguire's continuing the wall of words with João Pedro there as the two get back into position.
That's where you should do if you're up. You kind of rub players' noses in it because one or two of them make some.
Squeeze away too.
I think I see them throwing in a few challenges as well. Yeah, you want to play, you want that ball. Don't really get out and eat that.
Extra keeps it away. Another red card for Chelsea would be game over for them.
Just before that, the chance that Manchester United had, again it was Fofana caught a little bit sluggish on the ball, and that should have been clean out. Definitely should be clean out. Wrong choices made. Chelsea, I think he got lucky to be a little bit good at Chelsea having a solid time.
For Sanchez got in position there back to legs. And Manchester United thoroughly enjoying how they are making their
upon something with them motor do carriage, you know. So with the back wheel over there, so yeah. So that'll be closest on the Midlands. Sometimes my traffic one. You have one down now. You have one down now. Down one is that's one. Come on, one is, isn't it? What station is that? It's called Leighton Mills. I see him on supposed to come from
You know, he's well known for his voluminous locks, his Cucurella.
Something there.
It looks different going he goes Cucurella. Free kick to Manchester United. It's getting that balance right between you. We're down to 10 men, we're 2 down, we want to fight, we want to show commitment, but you've got to keep the distance. Yeah, I mean, look, you slide them
Yeah,
with
Anthony Marsh.
It's definitely, play just for goodness sake. That's what you should do, but that frustration.
So far, Hackney, just the right hand corner on this one. That take me back wider. So I just drop the one more time.
We've got all the red cards and VAR reviews and questions as to whether goals are going to stand and whatnot, so it's all racked up to 9 minutes. Chelsea haven't had a shot on target in the game. Bruno Fernandes sends in a disappointing free kick, met by Cucurella at the front post. Andre Santos gives it back to Cucurella, and he clears left-footed up towards the halfway line. 2-0 to Manchester United in stoppage time. Ahead of the break here on 5 Live. And Casemiro swings in a crossfield ball, again picking up Dorgu, who's had good positions today. He's been able to get in on the back of Reece James regularly. Here's the latest cross in by Ahmad. Rain is only getting heavier here. It's almost affecting the visibility now, it's so heavy the rain. Masraoui to the near side, to Brian in Birmingham. He sends that crossfield ball looking for Dorgu again. Tosin launched in and didn't get on the edge of the box. Luke couldn't bring it with him. The loose ball is falling away to Luke Shaw, and he gives it to Dorgu on the left-hand side. Chelsea back defending on the edge of their penalty area. It's been a calamitous first half for Enzo Maresca's team. Disappointing week for them. The draw against Brentford last weekend, their local derby. Then they've well beaten in Europe in midweek, and now already facing an incredibly steep uphill task in these circumstances, and hopefully 45 minutes that could barely have gone any worse for Chelsea really, and Manchester United will be surely with their eye on increasing this lead as the game progresses. So you start thinking of things like injuries as well. Start the season with a bit with points dropped. Probably saying Brentford's in the last six. Points dropped. They expected to get something out of today's game because it's difficult for time Manchester United have had. Looking a wee bit tired now, that's understandable after what they've been through. Chelsea. Obviously last season in some games that had driving rain, there were very visible leaks in the roof at Old Trafford. I've seen a sort of big flume of water coming down in 1 or 2 places off the roof at the moment. I think I've empty any stadium with much weather. It's that heavy, isn't it? Yeah. Delectia gives it back into Harry Maguire, who was presented with a framed photo ahead of kickoff. He made his 250th appearance for the club at the derby last weekend. This is Casemiro up to Bruno Fernandes, pocket of space, trying to force it through for Ahmad. Blocked by the Chelsea defence on the edge of the penalty area, but Chelsea can't hold on to the ball. Manchester United have had 9 shots in the game so far. Low ball in, too close to Tosin, and he clears it away, but Manchester United have strayed offside anyway. It's one of those games where Bruno Fernandes are thinking, relax, kind of a great time here. There's going to be space in the midfield. They'll just sit in the pockets, pick up the ball, and look for little slide-on passes through. There's lots and lots of options on. Benjamin Sesko, who has only had 1 shot on target in his now 4.5 Premier League appearances. Didn't have a touch of the ball in the penalty area against Manchester City last weekend. Did play an important part though in the incident that led to the red card today, winning the flick-on header, which then sent him booming through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And if you weren't with us earlier on, Robert Sanchez, the keeper, came way out, and as soon as he got in the area, he never looked confident, and he just dragged him down, and straight red card. Well, that was good from Šeško, but what he wants, of course, is a goal to kickstart his Manchester United career. We were talking about goalkeeper getting sent off there. There's lots and lots of Chelsea fans, I can tell you that for personal space, and talking to them all. They felt that the goalkeeper has been the weak spot for a long time. He is going to be heavily blamed by many Blues fans for what's happened today. Cucurella in towards Casado. Was it the Club World Cup in America in the summer, and Sanchez was
Coming to the end of the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Springboard for me to really boost my Chelsea career. And
hope you join again next time.
For the wrong reasons today. And Casemiro, who tried to play the ball up to Enzo Fernandez, was so difficult for Chelsea. They've been toothless in attack, really, as Bayern, but won't outside Bayern be pleased with these circumstances, because he's found himself in the spotlight and he's had nothing to do today. Ahmad comes to the attack for Manchester United, tried to loop it over the top for Mpumu, needed a more cultured attempt of a pass there. Easy pickings for the Chelsea defences. Cruzeiro tries to dribble it out from the back, up to Enzo Fernandez, through to Andre Santos. Good ball. Now he's got Reece James is ahead of him, and then a tackle comes in from Casemiro. There's no need for that. Takes out Andre Santos. Casemiro is going to get another yellow card. It's level things up to 10 men each. Casemiro, booked earlier, picks up a completely unnecessary second yellow, and it is a red card for Manchester United in the numerical advantage of the number of players on the pitch. Casemiro is sent off. Do you know what? The madness of it is unbelievable. He's over yesterday, and I think he may be having a look at maybe into the rest of you've got to know the referees. You look out for the Chelsea bench, like anybody on that bench cares just now. But you think about the first yellow card and go, that was a stupid one. You think of the experience of the man, you think, what did I say to you as soon as that happened? He won't last till after half time. That's not because I thought he did that. That's because I thought the manager, you'll have to take him off now. And him getting booked for that, which is basically not quick enough, dragging somebody back. Every Manchester United fan would have closed their eyes and thought, that's exactly how he's going to get sent off. Because that's what his problem's been for quite some time for Manchester United. Wow. Casemiro's day, yellow card in the 18th minute, goal, headed goal in the 37th minute, yellow card in the 51, and off he goes down the tunnel. And Manchester United no longer have the numerical advantage. Remember, we were telling you that the possession stats weren't massively in the favour. Cucurella tries to shoot on the other man from a tight angle on his right foot. He's less favourite when he puts it over the top. It's actually a decent chance for Chelsea. What a fill-up for them. What a boost for Enzo Maresca's team now. In a game which nothing has gone their way to this point. Now a really big pillar has fallen in their favour.
Absolutely. So what you want is your most creative players on the field that can do something out of face now. You're not bothered because Esteban's been taken off. Ferdinand's been taken off. And of course Paul Palmer's gone off as well. He's looking at he's got to look at his bench now, Enzo Maresca. I mean, this is where the coaching manual runs out. You're actually not prepared for this. See the band stuff now. You're looking at the bench thing. Who can you bring on?
Well, Garnacho, it's made for him now, isn't it, against his old team?
Gittins maybe as well, but you've got to get creativity on there. It's 10 against 10. There's lots of space. You're going to get more chances there. Playing well.
Too many changes because he's already made 3 early in the match. But it's good. I mean, we get to see so many games. We're lucky, Pat. We go to so many of these matches. Like this has been a really strange first half.
It's a marathon, it's a marathon.
Still goes on. We're not anywhere near half time yet, by the way. We're probably now 8 minutes of stoppages. We play on. I mean, more added on because of that further delay. Additional time for the red card. João Pedro tries to return it to Casemiro. Harry Maguire goes straight through the Ecuadorian there. Won the ball though. Francis Casemiro gets back up, doesn't make a silent dance. Costa Reece James is as well. And Cucurella's going to sprint to try and keep it in play for the corner flag, but it goes out for a throw in. So Manchester United right full back position for them. It's 10 against 10 here now. And that, at the very least, from a neutral point of view, should make it a bit more of a, end-to-end attacking game.
Well, what's become noticeable that Chelsea start playing allegedly 5 at the back, but the 2 wing backs now are now not stuck in a defensive position. Both of Reece James had just won the ball across between the goalkeeper and the centre back there. Who was the closest player to him? If Chelsea can get the next goal, we'll get an interesting night on.
Reece James, who started in midfield against Bayern Munich in midweek, that was his first start since the opening day of the season. Enzo Fernandez, lovely interchange with João Pedro there to get to the ball on left-hand side, but De Ligt has took his team, absolute solid there for the Dutchman, wins the ball off
Enzo Fernandez, who we know is competitive, inside the penalty area. That was very good defending from De Ligt. 2-0 Manchester United, goals from Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, who has since been dismissed. Chalobah has possession on the halfway line for Chelsea, gives it to Cucurella. Isn't amazing? Movement average, such has been the torrid time he's had as Manchester United boss, even in these circumstances. Even with the opponents going down to 10 after 4 minutes, even with a 2-goal lead, he's still worried that this might have a sting in the tail for him today. João Pedro goes down a bit soft there. No free kick for Chelsea. Bruno Fernandes gives the ball away. Throws around Old Trafford. Chalobah in the driving rain gives it short into the centre circle to Casemiro. Pivots into a bit of space. Now Enzo Fernandez sends it down the right wing. Dorgu in ahead of Reece James does well, but then the clearance is straight back to Enzo Fernandez. And Dorgu was fouled, and that's a free kick. And Manchester United grateful to hear that whistle because Chelsea would have been into the penalty area.
And you can see the psychology, it's come to the play, not the way it changed. And we're confident in their best of distance against Chelsea. But Sunday now have gone through 2-0 down. Actually, they're involved being against them. We can take a place up in the
Half-time at Old Trafford. I've got 30 seconds, but I think I've probably too late to squeeze in what's happened there. After 9 minutes of extra time does come eventually to an end. Both teams finished the first half with 10 men. Red cards for Sanchez and for Casemiro. Goals for Bruno Fernandes after a very tight offside review from VAR. Casemiro's goal was a close-range header. Maresca took off his flair players. He took off Neto and Estevao, and he took off Cole Palmer. And now he wishes he had a bit of flair, because at half-time it's 10 each, but it's 2 goals to Manchester United and none to Chelsea. Mark.
Second half on the way, and that is 606 in Roman Camp, Bristol, 085 909 693 in the Premier League earlier today. Liverpool made it 5 wins out of 5. They beat Everton 2-1 in the Merseyside derby at 3 o'clock. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. West Ham beaten at home again in a London derby. Crystal Palace won there 2-1. Wolves are still without a point as they were beaten 3-1 at home by Leeds. We'll have more reaction to those games coming up during half-time.
Alright, people.
Middlesbrough still have a
This is the local traffic, so I'm going to end the stream now.
After they lost at QPR.
Catch you on the next one.
Sheffield United still without a point. Chris Wilder's return to the club saw them lose 1-0 at home to Charlton. Sheffield Wednesday 1.